Bit of a small update in this video. I had a bit more of a large update planned, but unfortunately I lost a bit of progress due to some PC issues and had to roll back to a backup that fortunately I take. So nothing major, just a few hours lost, but kind of interrupted some of the stuff I was working on. In the meantime, I've been working on some more landmarks. Some of which I'm going to be keeping under wraps, but I wanted to show a little bit of this one here. So far, all of the islands have been using the Imperial building set. But given that this is only one of the cultures present in game, I wanted to introduce the Caelean building set, which is a bit more of a Asian fusion. Naturally, the battened and junk ships are part of this culture, and I wanted architectural style that matches them fairly well. I understand that this might come off as a bit dismissive. I'm aware that when talking about Asian culture, we're talking about a vast and nuanced group of peoples, times, cultures, etc. And this game does not really aim to dive into any of that. It's largely a visual styling in much the same way that the Imperial style borrows from the Iberian peninsula, Barbary States, and India. So I respect that it's a topic that inspires some strong opinions, but I mean no offense by having what is often a bit of a blended visual style between, say, China and Japan and a bit of Korea here and there. It's not meant to be directly culturally specific. This in-game is intended to be a somewhat challenging port. As you can see here, the entrance is very narrow and difficult to traverse, especially with larger ships. The idea being something a little more secluded and interesting to find. This island will also be much more remote than the others, further away. What this island is in the sort of story of the game is the last organized holdout of the official Kalian people, with their homelands completely inhospitable to life, and most of the other surviving people having splintered off into their own separate groups, like the isolated people of the Watcher. This island will depend heavily on trade, as it is not very fertile and has no source of fresh water. So trading will be an important tool available to the player, and this will be the only intended place for the player to be able to build and purchase Caelean vessels. There's still quite a bit of detailing work to do, but I'm trying to shape out how I want the rough look to appear, how things are laid out, and what have you. Quite topical since we want to stop. I've also got the reefing in a pretty good spot for the battened sailed ships. It functions pretty reliably now and visually looks quite a bit smoother than it did previously. I might have needed to slow down a bit earlier than that. So we're going to hit the dock, but that's okay. I haven't modeled ship damage yet. That'll buff out. So the actual assets, building sets for this place are a big mix of existing project assets with some texture variations, new assets, both bespoke and purchased for those that are concerned about that kind of thing. I do absolutely use some purchased assets here and there. I have only so much time in the day, but yeah, it's a bit of a mix. I'm sure anyone who's into development will probably recognize some of these, but this is kind of the rough layout I'm going for. I have a damaged great ship here for visual interest. I want a lot of verticality in this area. And the aim is just for an interesting place to explore. Anyone who's played around with the content that's already in the game will know that there's not really much to do on islands beyond interacting with the sales and the port merchants, that kind of thing. I do intend on adding a few other things in the future, but largely it's going to be a bit of a simpler approach. I mean, as much as I'd like to have varied quests and different things to do, it's a lot of work and not really something that I expect to be present, at least at launch. There's still quite a bit of work to do with detailing, and some of these assets are placeholders, particularly things like emblems and banners and whatnot, as they aren't necessarily something that represents the cultures of the game. But it's progressing along fairly well, and hopefully it's something that looks interesting to explore. Yeah, consider this a relatively early look at the Caelean building sets. So, small update, but I want to thank everyone for watching. I hope to have a new video out in the near future that's a bit more systems heavy, but for now, I'd hoped you'd enjoy taking a look at some of the new landmarks. And I apologize for not getting to this in the last 2 videos, I think, but I wanted to give out a personal thank you to those who've decided to donate on Patreon. I very much appreciate it. Any contribution is appreciated very much, and is a big help to both personal motivation and just the ability to see this project across the finish line. So with that, I wanted to thank ALA, PEKH, Boaty McBoatface, Hooniga Hoogs, Impossible Package, Nathan Hoy, RG Locke, Rick Patton, XCal13, Dan Harrison, Benjamin LaFay, Anthony Mark, and Cameron Worthy. Thanks very much, guys.